We're live.
In this house, there's some hoes 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 in this house,
certified free, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy got my pull-out game weak. Ooh, yeah.
They don't know nothing about this, Bells. They got no idea, Bells. They don't know. They don't know what it's like to be drop dead sexy. They don't know what it's like to be an 1111 boy. They can only dream to be part of the 1111 crew. So let's give them a glimpse. Let's let them know what it's like tonight, right here on WLR. My name is Billy Ray Valentine, Billy the Kid, Mecca G, Cody Rhodes. Cody Nation is here representing hard. Hey, listen, let me tell my guy Hooper, who is the minister of immigration. He's been handling all the requests to be a part of Cody Nation. You know, he wants to do it legally and orderly. Okay, we're gonna set up the military at the border. None of this nonsense that people just get to come over to Cody Nation. Right? We're not gonna do that. The Andrew Bello has applied for citizenship in Cody Nation.
No, sir, that must have been fraudulent.
We're gonna consider your application, sir. I gotta tell you, you got a lot going against you, but we will consider it. The first thing is you're wearing a Met cap. That's the first thing that we need to straighten out around here. Right. But he is the God of Thunder. He is incredibly sexy. What are we gonna do? We're probably gonna have to let him in. The Andrew Bello, what say you?
I just first and foremost want to say, for anybody listening, you know, the 3-letter agencies out there, I was unaware that there would be hoes in this house. I was completely unaware. I know that sex trafficking, rape allegations, all this sort of stuff is hot right now, right? Like it's like that second wave of the Me Too. All the lawsuits are starting to pan out now, and we're starting to get all this chicanery. I was unaware of any hoes in any house that I was going to be in. Just want to get that out there.
Well, good. I was unaware that there were some hoes, and I'm always unaware. I have to rely on Bello to tell me if there are hoes in this house. But I do know my guy Hooper is here, and that's all we need. We're here in the Hami Media Group YouTube page. The PW Hustle YouTube page has been suspended for about a week or so. Next week's WLR will probably air on both Hami Media and over on the PW Hustle, and of course the podcast after that. The Andrew Bello, please introduce the man.
Are we just going to pretend that there's not another person here?
You know, it's muscle memory. It's a reflex. I just do. Not really paying attention. You know, I just do. You know, and the Striz is sitting there, so I'm like, somebody has to introduce him. But the guys here, look at it. If you didn't know anybody, you would say Daniel Bryan is sitting here. But
that's true.
A hoe in this.
He is a hoe
in this house.
I didn't know.
Hell yeah, man. And he is kind enough and gracious enough to help us, because otherwise we wouldn't be airing live. Period. We would just record it and send it to you. But Colin Weiss, Colin Weissong is here. You've somehow managed to put Striz to bed. Let's get this over with so we can introduce the guy and wake him back up. What's up, buddy?
Fair enough. We'll get to Colin, I guess, at some point. But ladies and gentlemen, our main event of the evening.
Ooh.
And it comes to us from the land of the Sun Devil, by way of the Denver airport. He stands at 6 feet, 6.6 inches tall, weighing in at an unbelievably svelte 666 pounds. All biceps. My God. He is the master of the massive memories, the connoisseur of the colossal kachungas, and the honker of huge Huge Hooters. Yeah, it's still Triple H. Or is it, though? Maybe we don't want to be affiliated.
Hey.
He's sexy. He's stranglery. Strangler. Steve King. Damn it, the crack at the end. That was my best trying to be the male Samantha Irwin. Although, albeit slightly less sexy, I'll admit it. Boom.
Are we doing the boom? Do we miss it? Boom. There you go.
I know, I'm like waiting. I'm like holding my breath for the boom. Slightly less sexy, yes, and maybe perhaps she is not only the second greatest ring announcer of all times, but quite a catchy young lass.
Yeah,
hard to believe she's going out with engaged to Ricochet. Kind of a weird
that won't last
there.
No,
you don't think so?
No.
I know he makes his way around the ladies' locker room. He was going out with Katana Chance, and now her, and he's batting 1,000. What can you say? Right. But what's going on, fellas? It's been a week. I can't believe we're back here again already. It feels like we were just here a couple days ago. So it's been the rumble is the dust is settling, the smoke is clearing, and Billy Ray is gloating. As well he should. He called it.
I'm not gloating, motherfucker. Moi.
No, see, it's one thing to call it. That's fine. He called it. Bravo. It's another thing to be foolish enough to want it, and that's where we are.
Anybody can call it. Anybody can call it.
We all saw it coming.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Okay. First off, there's a hole in this house, Mr. Colin Wysong. How are you, sir?
I am doing fine. You don't know how many times Bella had to shit on me for me to get on this show today.
There's a lot of shit.
And we will talk all about that. We got quite a bit to talk about, but let's be clear. Billy Ray Domus, the Prophet, didn't just call it. Okay, he didn't just call it. He's been calling it for a year now. Okay, way before it was popular to call. And not only that, ever since we've been doing WLR, I have called every single Royal Rumble, with the exception of one, the one that Drew McIntyre won, and that doesn't count because it was during COVID, and nobody counts it. They don't even count his title ring. So
wait a minute, you predicted Yokozuna was going to win the Royal Rumble in '93?
Since we've been doing WLR, sir.
Oh, my bad. Well, you got to put that in the sentence. I can't just...
I did. I said that. I think I did anyway. But if we were doing WLR in 1993, I probably would have picked Yokozuna.
WLR does transcend space and time, so yeah, it's possible.
That's true. That's all happening at once anyway. It's already out there. But okay, well then, quick trivia question. Okay, we'll put Colin in on this too. Who was the last guy to get thrown out by Yokozuna for him to win the Royal Rumble in '93?
Don, bro, I don't know it. I don't know. Fuck, I do not know.
Was it Razor Ramon?
No, it was not.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I remember. Now that you mention it, I remember it because I really wanted Macho Man to win.
I'm picturing bright colors. I'm like,
he went for the elbow drop, lands it on Yoko, and somehow goes onto him like a lateral press, like he's going to cover him. Yoko pushes him off. He takes the bump over the top rope.
Right.
Yoko wins the Rumble.
Macho Man never won a Rumble. You know,
most people haven't.
Well, but
I'm one of those. Show of hands for who's not won a Rumble.
Show of hands. Cody wins 2, right? And there were 2 in Cody Nation.
Back.
It's me back to back, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and like Shawn Michaels and like the immortal Hulk Hogan. Stone Cold won 3 in total, right? He didn't win 3 in a row, right? He just won 3 in total. Right.
He almost won 99.
So let's discuss this. Let's talk about this. I want to talk about Vince McMahon, right? We have to talk about Vince McMahon. Good riddance to bad rubbish, right? I mean, he was good that he is gone, and I hope he goes to jail if he did all of this. And guess what? I totally believe it. I believe every single word of it. JVD is in the chat. He said he never won the Rumble. But you won the Rumble in our hearts, sir. JVD doing his thing. How are you? If you want to come into Cody Nation, just hit up my dude Hooper. You're in the book. You're good to go. We'll let you right into our 15-minute cities. They're very nice, by the way. Okay, our freedom cities. at Cody Nation. Okay, so we're going to talk about Vince, right? We're going to talk about Cody Rhodes. We're going to kick off talking about Cody Rhodes. I want to talk about CM Punk getting hurt. How much does that suck? And how that could potentially alter the main event scene for WrestleMania, right? We have to talk about that. I want to talk about the Women's Rumble that I really enjoyed very much. Jade Cargill, we want to talk about her. How do we say her last name, Bells? Cargill?
Cargill? Yeah.
Cargill it is for, so want to talk about that. That was dope. Naomi coming out. I love it. And I want to talk about Drew McIntyre. Please don't let me forget that. I loved that promo on Monday night. It's the best thing I've ever seen him do, man. That was fantastic. No Okada, lackluster Royal Rumble, I thought, but they did the right thing. Will Cody now go on to WrestleMania and complete the story? I think it is an inevitable fact that it's going to happen. He even pointed at Roman Reigns. They're trying to throw some shenanigans in there and saying you should wrestle Seth Rollins. Hey, listen, I think that just serves to diminish Cody's character if he picks Seth Rollins. He has to pick Roman Reigns, and he has to beat him. Has to happen. It's just the way it is. This is what the WWE booked themselves into. See, I like to say that I'm a prophet, but in reality, I just do the common sense thing. And I look at this for common sense, and that's the common sense. It should have been Cody. Cody wins. How do you feel, Bells? Can you tell me how it feels? How it feels that Cody Rhodes won the Royal. First off, how did it feel when CM Punk got tossed out, right? And then after that, how did it feel to see Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble? Like after all this time, after all everything you say, besmirching the good name of Cody Rhodes and besmirching the good name of Billy Ray Valentine in the process. I just want to know. I just want to get your feelings on this. Tell me what's up, sir.
Yeah, no apologies going my way towards Mr. Rhodes or Mr. Loads anytime soon. It became apparent towards the end. There was I guess maybe the 1% doubt, only because there were some reports from I think Sports Illustrated that Gunther was in the running. So when he was there towards the end, it was kind of, making a little bit of sense. But then you've got you got Cody, towards the end, it became just apparent to me that it was going to be Cody. I think it was kind of obvious from the get-go it was going to be Cody, and I was just hoping against hope that they would come to their fucking senses and book around this guy. But nevertheless, so we got what we got. The thing that pissed me off the most about it, and Billy Ray knows this because I called him drunk as fuck immediately after the Rumble at about midnight. And
I told my wife, I'm like, yo, I got a call from Bells. It's freaking 2 a.m. What's going on here? Yeah, buddy.
But yeah, the thing that was infuriating to me about it was the way that they booked Punk, and maybe the injury played some factor in this in retrospect, although I doubt it. But the way that they just kind of had him booked towards the end there, where you've got 4 guys, you've got Cody and 2 giant fucking mammoth motherfuckers beating on Cody, and Punk runs in to get involved, and it's this is so. Whoever booked this is never has no understanding of CM Punk's role in things, right? He's not the biggest guy, he's not the strongest guy, but he's typically kind of I don't know, he's an edge type, he's a Triple H type. He's the master manipulator. He's the smart guy. That's how he's able to do what he does without being bigger and stronger and faster than anybody. That, and I guess his mic work provides for some degree of head game. This is all built into the character. But yeah, no, he's just, instead of letting Cody Rhodes get the shit kicked out of him, he decides to go over and help out. So that was infuriating. As soon as he yelled out, I'm not losing to Dusty's kid or whatever, it was
right.
Well, that just seals it. And then the rest of it was just kind of inevitable from there. So it was all kind of stupid. I don't know if, like I said, maybe there was some degree of a curveball thrown towards the end where, Punk, knowing he's hurt and he's going to go away, kind of decides to kind of maybe be a little bit more heelish towards the end there, because he hadn't really been fuck Dusty, fuck this, that, the other up until that point. But then there it was, right at the end there. So I don't know if he called the audible, if they called the audible, whatever it might have been, if there was an audible called at all. But it was kind of weird, because he's kind of been baby facing it since he came back, and now all of a sudden he's out here doing this sort of thing towards the very end there. But nevertheless, Cody wins. It's perfectly obvious. The main event scene, You know, other than this little bit of drama that they're going to try to throw in there with Seth. I think it would be hilarious if they do have him go with Seth, and this is their way of trying to justify it, is this whole Seth comes out, explains the whole deal. He's rocking his blue suit, does a whole blue collar promo. It's all very fucking on the nose. But nevertheless, maybe they do try to have Cody go that route, and you know that there is a little bit of history here. The problem is that Seth's not really a heel at this point, right? So you'd have to make him the heel here if you want Cody to finish the story and this to really be like meaningful when he goes over Seth at Mania. So maybe Cody kind of turns him down and then he attacks him, and he, they start tying back to their beef right when Cody first came on board. He was kind of tying into this respect factor that he has for him since that period of time, and now maybe it's really all just resentment, like, you know, all this stuff. I've held this title, and now, you know, you're the guy everybody talks about. You're the guy on posters. Fuck this. And Seth kind of snaps, and we get a heel Seth Rollins versus Cody. Otherwise, this doesn't really work. So maybe there's like a sliver of a chance of something like that happening, but no, it's going to be Cody. It's going to be Roman, and for that reason, it's all just meaningless from now until WrestleMania. And I cannot wait for Damian Priest to cash in like 30 seconds after all of this bullshit comes to pass.
Very good. Very good. No, I think you made a really good point with CM Punk. And this is the thing with CM Punk. As much as I hate him, sometimes I love him. You know, and that's the genius of this guy. Like, I'm like, why can't you just be this all the time? And Ray was here. Ray was in my home. I know. I'm happy Cody Rhodes. I needed something.
Make questionable decisions from time to time.
Right, exactly. You know? And I know. So he was here with his son, and his son said, Punk just turned heel. You know, he was absolutely right. Punk adjusted, right, and did that, and I caught that when it happened, and it was genius. It was very cool because the people were solidly behind Cody Rhodes. They wanted Cody to win, and Punk picked up on, you know, so he turned and did what he did. Also, I thought it was interesting on Monday Night Raw with Cody and Seth that the crowd was like, no, pick Roman Reigns, the universally, you know. So this is, and I gotta say, even though I am the founder and the president of Cody Nation, I didn't know that this would last. I was really shaky on whether or not he would be able to carry fan support from one year to the next. He's kind of done it. It's a testament to him and the WWE, Triple H, and whoever else is handling the business. Striz, what is going on? The sexiest of the stranglers. What's up? Tell him something, sir. What are you thinking?
Well, I like the Rumble match. It wasn't as exciting as the ladies one, but I thought it was still pretty good.
Right.
And like Bella said, as soon as Punk was laying the smack talk, you knew that whenever it's like such a formulaic thing in WWE, when somebody starts doing that, they're the ones who are going to end up losing, and pretty much shortly thereafter. And that was no different for when Punk did that. I wish they didn't add that part to it, because it would have made you feel like he was still in the fight a little bit. But who even knows if he was even, you know, had the torn tricep at that point yet or anyway. But I'm not exactly sure what point of the match he got hurt. But I guess it's good that they were planning on Cody this whole time. I don't think they did call an audible. I think the plan was probably to go with Cody. And
Cody definitely, right? That was the plan. Okay.
Because there's options to what to do with him, whether The Rock pulled out and he can still work Roman or work Seth. The only problem with him working Seth now at this point, with Seth having like the quote unquote broken back angle that he's been doing for 3 months now, plus now he's got the knee and everything, and so you're going to see Cody Rhodes, who's in the prime of his life, going up against the lame duck champion. And what's babyface about that? So I almost feel like, in a way, it almost makes Cody come off as a heel, working an injured champion at WrestleMania to finally get the belt off the guy. That's the only way you could do it, was to be the guy who's like, a supposed broken back and a terrible knee. So, that doesn't really make Cody a very strong champion. So they have to do something where either, something was a work in Seth's thing, which could turn him heel. Like, I was trying to throw people off the scent by saying I had a bad back or by saying I had a bad knee. Like, there's no way I could have beaten Nakamura with a bad back. That guy's a killer, but they won't do that. So it's just, it puts Cody in a it's a championship match and everything. And it helps him to do the whole finishing his story thing. But also would you rather see him beat somebody who is at 100% rather than, like what Seth's been doing for like the last, I don't know, quarter of a year now?
No, absolutely. And that's where I think Drew McIntyre comes in. I think they should give Drew McIntyre this spot. I want your thoughts on it, Striz, before we go to Colin. I think they should give Drew McIntyre the spot, the main event spot at WrestleMania against Seth Rollins. This whole thing that they did with Punk and Drew McIntyre was dope. Punk's promo was really good, but Drew McIntyre's promo was even better. Like, I was like, ooh, I didn't know they would go that route with it.
Yeah, they were pulling from real life, which is what made it good. They used a lot of real material.
Right.
Whenever you're in there and you're in the ring and you're holding the microphone and you're pulling from somewhere real, it just comes across so much more differently than if it was a complete work.
Right.
And whenever you can pull from something that's real, you're going to do that. And it was such a great line when he was like, I prayed for this. It's man, you're a motherfucker. Like, who would ever pray for somebody to get hurt in the ring? And here he is saying that. I thought that was like because he's been kind of like a tweener for a while, you know what I mean? But that was like definitely like the line where it's like, okay, yeah, he's definitely a heel, because you would never openly say like, I prayed for you to get hurt. Like that's like the drawing of the line kind of thing. But if you work Seth, or you say you want Drew to work Seth rather than Cody work Seth, is what you're saying?
Well, Cody's wrestling Roman Reigns.
Okay, what about The Rock? How does that fit in?
I don't know what The Rock is going to do, but Cody's wrestling Roman Reigns. If The Rock goes into WrestleMania and wrestles Roman Reigns, he's going to get booed against Roman Reigns. And let me tell you, if somehow it works out that Cody Rhodes is somehow involved, he'll get booed and I said this even before the Rumble, he'll get booed in favor of Cody Rhodes at this point. Everybody wants Cody Rhodes to go to Mania and win and beat Roman Reigns. That's what people want to see. As predictable as it is, that's what people want to see. Mandir is in the chat. Mandir, I know you want to see it. Mandir is next level intellect, Babylonian mystery schools, the whole deal. Tapped into the Akashic records. He knows the deal. Hey, Hooper, send the guy his residency papers. He's good to go. He can come into Cody Nation. Matt Schaefer is in the chat. What's up, Matty? How are you? You can also come in to Cody Nation, because why wouldn't we let you into Cody Nation? So please come, but you have to go through Hooper. Hooper's handling all of this stuff. All right. Colin Weisler, how are you? There's some hoes in this house. Tell the people what's up.
I was worried the whole entire time watching CM Punk put people in that fireman's carry, because the man was struggling so much. Like, the man's so old and brittle. He needs to work out. I mean, that's really his biggest thing, because he just doesn't look like he takes care of himself. He's not young Punk where he can just walk into the ring and just do it. He needs to get on the climate change and look like AJ. I mean, you got to get in shape. You got to take better care of yourself. Cody Rhodes, he was going to go over. We all knew he was going to go over. He's not wrestling Seth, but you got to like how they put the tease, because everyone already knows that he's going to go after Roman Reigns. I think we should have somebody. Drew McIntyre is totally worthy of Seth Rollins, but that might be where Damian Priest cashes in. They might throw Drew McIntyre in there. I'd love to see like a Carmelo Hayes, bring in someone, a surprise to come in after Seth. Ludwig was had a really good showing at the Rumble. People seem to like Ludwig or Gunther. I'm okay with any of these people coming after Seth for his title. But I enjoyed the Rumble all the way around. I think Steve said it best. It wasn't as good as the women's, but I also think the end of the Rumble got a lot of slack because I was seeing people say that it took too long. I think that was the WWE trying to give everyone that CM Punk Cody Rhodes match that they all were like, oh, it's going to be them at WrestleMania. It's going to be them at WrestleMania. So they added that little bit on extra to let those two guys work together, so everyone could kind of get that Cody Rhodes CM Punk match that they all wanted to see.
Right. Absolutely, man. I think Striz is right as per usual. 9 times out of 10, he is. The women's rumble was fantastic. And it was better than the men's rumble, but I enjoyed the event altogether, you know, and I had some people over, you know, A-Track was over and Big Ray came over. We had fun, you know, it was a fun night. I asked Bello to come, but he turned me down. He was doing something much sexier. So I couldn't, you know, what was I going to do? But it was fantastic. I had a really good time watching it. And then Cody goes over as he should. Do you have any thoughts on this, Bells, before we move on to CM Punk?
Yeah, a couple things, I guess, as far as who might face Seth. How about fucking Andrade? Andrade coming back. He's going to be on Raw. I mean, God knows that match would be stupid. That match would just be really like crazy. I'm sure if they put together some sort of fucking, you know, 5-star
main event Mania, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like over Drew. Like, yeah, probably. I can imagine. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm over Drew, but that's a personal preference. I think with Punk out of the picture, they probably are, you know, I'm sure they've already come up with it, but they probably had to scramble to figure out what it was going to be. And Brock also apparently not going to be around, it looks like, for the foreseeable future, if ever again. So, you know, there's another consideration that maybe they would have went back to, but you know they can't do that now. So yeah, I'll throw Andrade in the hat. Also, before we move on from the men's rumble, R-Truth coming in and doing the "You Can't See Me" is an all-time great Royal Rumble moment. Like, that is the fact that this man got to come out there and emulate his idol since childhood. It's brilliant. It was fucking amazing. I popped so fucking hard for R-Truth. Pause.
Yeah, R-Truth has sealed his him being inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? He's 100% a Hall of Famer in my opinion. Let's move on to CM Punk, and this is still Rumble related.
BRV, I have one thing I want to add about the Drew McIntyre thing. He is not under contract yet, so his contract. So again, if they're gonna book him with Seth, they got to re-sign him. He's not re-signed yet. So that's where you could see them go a completely different direction with
sign him up. Sign him up right now. They got the money. He's hot. I was over Drew for forever, you know, but these last few weeks I'm like, wait a minute, you know, and then that promo, that was classic. Why would they do something like that if they weren't willing to sign him up and do something in the future? They got to sign him up. And in my opinion, there's no argument. He's the guy that I think he should beat him. He should beat Seth Rollins and take the title and wait for CM Punk to come back. That'd be dope. You know, I loved it. I love the setup. You're nodding your head, Striz. Before we move on, go ahead. Say what's up.
I think Drew and Punk at SummerSlam would be a great match.
Right. I think so too.
Lots of history to pull off of.
So CM Punk is hurt, right? And it's legit. And he's going to be out for 6 to 9 months, they said. Which sucks because it was going to be a dope WrestleMania with Cody and Roman and then Seth and Punk, right? It was set. Now it's a little like up in the air. Maybe some people are speculating that now this leaves room for Rock versus Roman. And then you move Cody over so it could be Cody versus Seth, right? Which in all actually, that's a real solid top for night 1 and night 2. You know, the thing is, it fucks with Cody's character. So this is what WWE did, not anybody else. If Cody picks Seth Rollins, he looks like a bitch. He just looks like a bitch, you know, so he has to pick Roman Reigns. So what do you do at that point? And it sets up for the future, in my opinion, because now it's about Punk's story, right? If you really want long-term booking, it's about Punk's story, right? He needs to fulfill whatever story he wanted. It's time. He wins the Royal Rumble and he main events WrestleMania against whomever, maybe Cody. That would be dope, you know, to see him versus Cody at Mania. And
like at 41, you mean?
Yeah, 41. Yeah. If they make it that far, you know, like if let's see, it's a year, right? So anything can happen. Yeah. But yeah, 41. That's what I'm talking. Striz, you want first dibs before I go to everybody else?
Sure. On what?
What I was just talking about, CM Punk getting hurt and the
yeah, well, it sucks that he got hurt. Obviously, you know, he's no spring chicken. You know, when you've been doing this for as long as he has, you know, the injuries are going to come, and they take a little bit longer nowadays at his age to heal up and get ready, to be back in the ring. It takes lots of training, and it's just shitty timing. I mean, there's never a good time to be injured, but of all the times, his first Rumble back in a decade and getting ready to do some really good business. Seems like people are really responding well to him being back in WWE, and then boom, there he goes. But it's like when he first got into AEW and then had an injury and was gone, and then I don't know, was that when he hurt his ankle? Did he do something first and then came back and hurt his ankle and then was off again? But it's like injuries are no stranger to this guy. And, like I said, I don't know what part of the match he hurt himself. I'd like to go back and actually watch it so I can see what happened. But, the tricep sucks to repair. I remember when Batista tore his tricep years ago, and he was on the road to recovery. And he was going out for a jog just to kind of get his wind back up because he knew he was going to have to be back in the ring suit. And he tripped and fell while he was jogging and went to catch himself on the ground and retore his tricep on the way down. So it's a tough muscle because you use it for no matter what you do with your upper body, that tricep gets worked on. And, being 45 years old, it's going to be, touch and go for a while. Hopefully he can rehab it. They have the best doctors in the industry and everything. I'm sure they're going to have, he's a hot product with lots of money invested in him. So they're going to give him the best treatment they can give him, which is great. And hopefully he can be back by SummerSlam. That's 8 months out. So we'll have to see, where that takes us,
Thank you, Striz. Thank you for that, man. Bells, what do you think of your boy? Not only did he not win the Rumble, not only is he not going to main event WrestleMania, but he's going to be out for about 9 months. Do you want to ship him that Met hat?
I might as well at this point. Yeah, it kind of feels like being a CM Punk fan is kind of like being a Mets fan in a lot of ways, unfortunately, all the wrong ways. But yeah, it sucked he didn't win the Rumble. Going into the next morning, thinking to myself, all right, well, he'll face Seth on night one, whatever. That's some bullshit. We'll see how this goes anyway. He'll scratch and claw his way through Elimination Chamber and get there, and then you get the news about the injury. So that was quite a blow. It's all too reminiscent of his AEW run, right? Didn't he come back to AEW and then almost immediately get hurt? It's very weird for that to have happened. But I think this kind of works out, right? We've been talking about trying to fit 5 pegs into 4 holes, basically with this main event. And maybe they do the Cody, Seth, Rock, Roman thing. Maybe that's now nice and easy for them to do. Here's the 4 guys that we were trying to fit into the main event anyway until Punk came into the picture, and now here's what we're gonna do. That if the Rock is on the table, which apparently he is, he's on the board. He's at least at the table, right? So,
right.
But yeah, no, if he's on board to actually work and do Mania, then that makes that nice and easy. Then with Punk now being out, it gets back to our problem before. Is it going to be Drew? Is it going to be Andrade? Billy Ray, as much as I hate to admit it, what you said makes a lot of sense and sounds great to me, right? You have Drew beat Seth, and now you've already got this built-in heat with Punk and Drew for when Punk comes back as a triumphant babyface and takes it to Drew for not only beating him up, but for just because it's his time, and then we'll see what happens there as he maybe even catches that belt heading into the road to WrestleMania. And then, can he maintain it? Can he keep that spot that's going to be due to him come Mania? And, we'll build the story from there, or do we wait all the way until Mania for him to get it? But either way, I think this results in CM Punk being the world champion and probably main eventing WrestleMania 41 as long as he's healthy. And that's all right. I'll wait a year. I'm a Mets fan. I'm fucking used to waiting a year.
Did you say that I made sense?
Listen, don't take too much into it. All right. I said a lot of words there. Let's not nitpick.
He has to choose the ones that revolve around him, though, right?
Yeah, I thought I heard that he said that I made sense. I just wanted to clarify if that was the case.
I may have put those
I'll
words.
cut that out for the Roadcaster, BRV.
Thank you very much. Let's do that. But also, I just want to make a disclaimer that I will not be bribed for entry into Cody Nation. Right, just giving you a heads up. That's not enough. If you're going to bribe me,
I wouldn't go to Cody Nation if the rest of the landscape was zombie apocalypse. Okay, I'm not going to Cody Nation. It's never going to happen until he turns heel.
until he,
And I'm-
which is
and I'm
very
like,
possible.
all in.
Bells, Cody or Drew? Who are you choosing? If you had to choose between one guy
Drew.
to go against Seth for the belt,
I would take
Drew?
I would take Drew over Cody in almost every context, as iffy as I am on Drew. Like Drew's almost like, I don't know, Drew's Tim Duncan. Like he's so fucking good. It's like unexciting how good he is, even though he's a giant and he's a freak and he's just like so fucking good at everything. Like now at this point, his mic skills are top notch. His in-ring work is top notch. He looks amazing. He's just fucking killing it.
Right.
But for some reason, it just doesn't connect with me. Objectively speaking, though, Drew is amazing. Objectively speaking, Cody looks like a creator wrestler. And I can give a fuck about him and his neck tattoo and his blonde hair and his heel gimmick on a babyface character. It's all stupid. I don't really care. It looks like fucking Kyle, 9-year-old Kyle made this shit on WWE 2K.
Get him, Bells. Get him.
And I wasn't like all that much against Cody when he left. Totally kind of felt like he should have gotten maybe more respect before he left the company. Kind of appreciated what he did. Like that he was a part of AEW, as anti-AEW as I am. Like, was really weird about him just dropping everything and coming back, though. I think at that point, that's when I jumped off the Cody train. And then all of this, let's fucking hand this guy the kingdom for I don't know why. Like, all right, people like him. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
All right. When the PW Hustle page comes back up, A-Track and I are going to sing Kingdom, Cody Rhodes' entrance song together. We did this about a year ago. It's time to do it again. A-Track will harmonize and we'll get it done. So all of you guys get a free. It's not going to be on Only Fringe. It's going to be free on the PW Hustle page for all of you guys. All right. And Hooper, give me the numbers. He says that even if you applied for citizenship in Cody Nation, Bells, it wouldn't have worked out. They would have shredded your application on the spot. Let me know what it's looking like over there, Hooper, as far as applications. I know you're overwhelmed with all of this. Okay. Colin, we need your thoughts. What are you thinking, sir?
Well, let me throw out a little something here. You know, Punk is always the liberal guy. He cares about abortion rights. He cares about women.
Right.
What if Punk is faking his injury so that we can get Bayley and whoever she chooses at night one, because he didn't feel it was right for the men to go over on both nights of WrestleMania. Now this opens the door for, you know, we haven't discussed it yet, but your women's Royal Rumble winner, Bayley, to choose whoever she wants. And it's going to be a fire night one match, no matter what.
Yes, that is a very good point. What I will say to that, and I want to go around to everybody here, is when I understand that Bayley was the favorite to win the Royal Rumble, and I just don't think she's not going to challenge Mommy, right? And the real women's main event is with Mommy in it, right? That's it. So if she's going to challenge Io, and that's not a main event caliber match, and I don't know if Bayley, and I could be wrong, guys, right? Feel free to tear me apart on this. I don't know if Bayley at this point in time is a main event caliber female wrestler. I think Bianca Belair versus Mommy would have worked out. Jade Cargill versus Mommy would have blew the roof off the place. Okay, like I think something like that, but it has to be Mommy. It has to be her. And Bayley winning the Rumble, it's not going to result in Mommy. So I thought that's why I wanted Becky Lynch to win, right? Becky Lynch versus Mommy would have made sense to me. I wanted that. Not a lot of people did. I mean, she was the second runner-up, but everybody wanted Bayley to win, and they wanted to hand her the longevity trophy and give her something, right, for all the times that she's been involved in doing whatever she does. I just don't think it's a main event caliber match, and I think the winner of the Rumble should be the main event, you know. And she's not gonna make. It's not. She's gonna wrestle Io. It's gonna be a good match, but what is there to it? I don't know. That's just me. Bells, what's up?
Yeah, I think the Bayley thing could have been booked a little bit more intriguingly, right? Like if maybe the rest of Damage Control had just turned on her outright, like maybe a couple months ago, and put her out, and now she's just on the shelf, and when's she coming back? Who knows? Blah blah blah. And then, she comes running out towards the end of the Rumble, wrecks house, beats all the fucking damage control bitches up, wearing the hugger gimmick, all the fucking wacky arm flating and waveable tube men and all that sort of stuff. And I think they could have gotten maybe something out of that. And that probably would have given it more juice. But you're right. Again, Billy Ray, God damn it, I hate it. Mommy is the main event on the women's side. And I still think we can maybe work our way back to Becky versus Mommy anyway, right? Mommy versus the Man at Mania.
Right.
That's the only women's match I can imagine them doing that's main event worthy as far as like actually putting it the last match on the card. They'll carry 20-25 minutes and fucking, have everybody, at the edge of their seats. And that's all you really want, I guess. At the end of the day, they have some name value. So I think that would work. And then maybe you get like Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax is like an undercard match and like that, and the Bailey thing and like a women's tag. And there's your 4, ish women's matches for the weekend.
Right. Or Jade versus Bianca. That'd be dope for WrestleMania.
Could be.
If you're going to do that match, you do it at Mania, right?
Nia's going to be involved in some way. It's just like a matter of like, is she going to be the one that ends up fighting Mommy, or because they've certainly been teasing that for a little while, or is that going to split off somewhere, and then maybe she's either goes off with Becky or Jade or vice versa.
I've never been a huge fan of the People's Pork Chop. But I remember when she started doing the People's Leg Drop, and I was like, yup. But I gotta tell you, she looked freaking fantastic. She looked great. And they booked her fantastically too. The way she was booked in the Rumble was incredible in my opinion. I was very impressed by her, as impressed as I've ever been. All right, Colin, and then we'll close with Striz. Tell him something, Colin.
Guys, I know the WLR is a place for bold predictions, and my bold prediction is night one. The crowd is going off. We're going off the air with the crowd chanting the "Hey Bailey" chant like they used to in NXT. Face Bailey's going to be back. Hugger Bailey's going to be back. She's got this new swagger about her, so she's not going to be that gee shucks babyface that she was when she first started. She's going to have like this sexiness to her. She's going to have this little bit of attitude to her. This is a new Bailey. And she's going to be the face of champion on night one.
You think she's main eventing?
Main event? We're going off the air. Hey, Bailey.
That could happen because it's a bunch of marks, right? It's a bunch of marks that want to sing that. So I could see that happening. Not closing. I can't see her closing. But who knows? Who knows? Striz, the Women's Royal Rumble, and Bailey winning. Give us your thoughts, sir.
Yeah, Bailey's not that star that they close out Mania with the fade out to black. She's a hell of a hand, and she's done a lot of great things in the biz, but she's not the close out to black on Mania.
I agree.
One thing.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Colin saying that she'll be an over babyface.
Yeah.
It won't be the hugger. We don't need the hugger back. We just need the babyface version of what she's doing now. And I don't think I don't know. I mean, it'd be a nice little completion of the circle to have the wacky gimmicks, the tube dudes or whatever, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. It'd be a kind of fun moment. I think kids would like that, but I don't think it's going to be. And if they do it for one night only. There's a retro look into Bailey's career type deal, and then they go forward without it going forward. The following Monday on Raw. But yeah, I love the Ladies Rumble. I thought they did a great job with it. Nia, like you said, she looks fantastic. She's just like a thicker version of J-Lo. A lot of people say they compared her to J-Lo, right. Like their faces are like identical. She's moving great, and she's not hurting people, which is a nice thing. As far as Jade Cargill goes, she's going to be a big deal, but she's still not ready. So the most I could see her doing at Mania is either one, she's stuck in like a 6-woman tag, or 2, she's winning like the Ladies Battle Royal, which they haven't done in a couple of years. They bring it back and put it on like SmackDown, like they did with the Giant Battle Royal right before Mania last year. And she's just simply not ready to be with like a Bianca Belair, who's fantastic, but Bianca also needs somebody that she can work with. Like when she was with Sasha could work, and it was a 2-way street. And I don't think you put Bianca in a situation where she's got to carry Jade Cargill to make Jade look as good as she possibly could, because we still have a lot of miles on Bianca that we got to, get our money out of. So it's just too soon for her to be carrying people through matches, especially at the biggest stage of the year. And you don't want to have to depend on Bianca to do that, because if the match is a stinker in this Jade's debut Mania, it kind of puts a little tarnish on her with her coming into such a big deal. Right. So you want to kind of protect her still and kind of cover her up where she's still kind of weak. It was perfect for a Rumble match because there's a lot, you don't have to do very much, and there's a lot of action going on, so your eyes aren't constantly on her the whole time. Anybody who's ever laced a pair of boots can look at her and tell you she still has a long way to go, because just the footwork in the ring just isn't quite there yet, and the confidence isn't there. She's nervous as hell, but that's fine because that's just the way it is. She tries to play that off, and if it to an untrained eye, she looks very confident, but you can tell as a worker that, she's, her knees are knocking big time, and I don't blame her. It's a huge stage, and it was her real first debut into the biz, other than a little, walk into the ring or doing backstage crap and stuff. So now it's time to put up or shut up, and hopefully her training had been going well at the Performance Center, which I'm sure it has, because if it hadn't, they wouldn't have put her in there. They have put people in there that don't do a great job. I mean, remember when B-Fab was debuting in NXT and she was literally shaking on her way to the ring. She was so nervous. You could see her physically shaking, which was, I can't even believe they booked the match. But, there's a chance to make a lot of good girls out of here. The thing is with the Bayley thing is she's been around a long time now, and there's a lot of girls coming around the corner that we have to start preparing for, the girls of tomorrow who are going to be the next 5 years. So, everybody wants to see Bayley kind of take the belt from Io. Bayley wins as a babyface at the Rumble, but maybe doesn't get the job done. And Io goes on to solidify her reign as the champ, and goes on to get challenges from other girls who are kind of newer in this, and they're getting ready to have their time in the spotlight. And Bayley kind of can stay babyface and move on from the loss and do whatever she does. But there has to be a point where those people who have been around for that 7-year period, that 8-9 year period, who have more years behind them than they do in front of them, have a new role. And that's to help get the next crew of people who are going to be doing this for a decade to get ready to go. You work with them, you do their promos, you get them, and you do feuds with them, and eventually, at the end of the day, you get them over. Right. And I think that's going to be probably the position we see. She might have that run with the belt. It may not be very long, but she might have a little run just that has a good feel. But I'm saying, for me, I think her best value after Mania will be starting to get the next crop of girls over and established.
Totally agreed. 100%.
Oh, I mean, the thing with Bayley here, I mean, isn't it obvious what's going to happen here, right? Like, it's going to be Bayley versus Io. All the damage control is going to be out there. How's Bayley going to even the odds? Oh, no. Out comes Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, and then Sasha, and boom, big pop. And you get
4 horsewomen.
Like, this is almost Cody predictable. This is it's going to be a hell of a moment as somebody who marked the fuck out for all of that stuff when I was covering it, when I was going to shows, owned all of their t-shirts. Like fucking.
That was a really exciting time. They were all breaking in.
So it'll be cool having that.
They changed the industry for the ladies at that point when they did that.
If that does happen, I will be cheering for Damage Control, the all Asian Damage Control. Make Asian wrestling great again. Let's go. Asian people, Chinese people, Japanese people, Japanese women to be exact. Great Muda lookalikes, the great Kabuki. Let's do it. All right. And let's beat the crap out of the fake 4 horsewomen. Like that, let's do it. I'm with that. Cody Nation fully endorses the Asian wrestling movement. All right, John Enright says that he wants to be a part of Cody Nation. He has a picture of his son he has a picture of his son.
Who is this?
With the ROH when Cody was the ROH champ. John, you're good. All right, hit up my dude Hooper and we'll get you in. We got a nice spot for you. Penthouse in the 15-minute city.
Hooper's fucking Secretary of fucking Homeland Security.
Hooper is doing his thing. He was there from day one. He's in the White House. He's chilling in the West Wing right now, doing his thing. Hooper, And Revamped Wrestling says, holy crap, I haven't seen Billy Ray in a long time. Well, feast upon the sight that is I. Take it in for just a second, okay? Good to see you, buddy. How are you? Don't know who you are, but you clearly know who I am. So what's up? What's up? All right. So we did.
Well, BRV, I'm sorry. I got two questions I wanted to ask. One is Dakota Kai going to get her Asian card? Because she's not Asian. So that would totally mess up
she's
your
from
full
New
Asian
Zealand,
damage
right?
control.
Go. Right. We need to deport her. Get going now.
Wait, she's
else?
from New
Get
Zealand,
her on
right?
out of here.
What happened?
I'm pretty sure New Zealand would be part of Australia. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't
where?
know that whole Southern Pacific area. Yeah, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
sorry. Wait, where? What did you say? What were those? The noises that came out of your mouth? It was weird.
It's not intelligible. I don't know what you just said,
no,
brother.
I mean,
What
New
is that?
Zealand is obviously part of Asia.
Right? Clearly,
It's one of the 6 continents. Aren't you aware?
And then two, Striz, did you see after Jade got laid out and she had to lay out, she did a Roman impression where she just kind of slept on the side. Did you notice how she just stayed over in the corner and no one went over there to her? And then all of a sudden it was like Naomi just kind of saw her in the corner by herself. And I don't know if she was going over there to check on her or what, but is that something that shows to her greenness? That, you know, she might have been nervous about the spot that she had in the Rumble, or
she might have been
just
told to
isn't
lay
ready.
out for a few minutes during a certain spot. I'm not really. I'd have to go back and watch it. But like sometimes if people are going to be doing something that's going to take up a lot of the ring, going back and forth, or a high spot from the top rope where they want to have all the attention, they may have people laying low for a certain spot. But I don't know the spot exactly. I'd have to go and take a peek at it.
Hey, Striz, what do you think of the relationship with TNA? I think you called this back in not too long ago or whatever.
Yeah, I
you
did.
alluded to it. Well, that's really dope. It's one of my favorite things that happened. I was marking out for all of that. That was really cool.
It's great for TNA, man.
Tell him what's up. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say it's great
No,
for TNA. They need as many eyeballs on the product as possible, and if Triple H wants to help them kind of get become a little bit more relevant, and I say good on them. They have the stroke to help them do that, and TNA helps keep a lot of wrestlers employed, so it's on their WWE's best interest to make sure that a place like TNA not only stays in business but gets some eyeballs on it. And Jordan Grace came in and did a great job. She was fantastic. I'm so glad she wore the belt because it gives that some shine, makes it have a lot higher value. I was expecting Moose. If they're gonna have the ladies champ, maybe they have the guys champ. Expecting Moose to show up, but he didn't. But I thought she had a fantastic showing, and probably not more than a few months from now, she'll probably be on the either the full-time roster or at least in NXT. And I actually had posted a tweet saying I wouldn't mind seeing an NXT versus TNA pay-per-view. Lots of great talent in NXT and in TNA. Excuse me, I say TNT. I think that the two of them could have the matchups could be fantastic. This involving Eddie Edwards with like some young talent in NXT would be fantastic. Alex Shelley, I mean, you name it. And I'm sure TNA was very happy to get the help. I don't know who wouldn't want that. So, it's a great, it'd be a great fit. And maybe, I know at one point when the WWE Network was still a thing, for a while there was a rumor that when WWE was going to host some TNA footage on there. But now without the network, I'm not sure if they would do that on Peacock or how that would work. But, I think it could be a good working relationship, and it could only benefit TNA. It could certainly not hurt it in any way, I don't think.
I think it's fantastic, bro. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It can't hurt. Can't get any worse over there, right?
No.
This is only an upgrade.
Episodes of television that had 50,000 people or less watching it. So if they can do a little thing where they bring a little bit of an exchange, you send a few people down there to work some guys and maybe get people to watch it, and they can cross promote the show and everything. And it's a good thing.
No, and Jordan Grace represented hard, man. She looked dope out there. It was fantastic. I was very happy to see it, and it makes me want to watch on Thursday. Tune in to TNA real quick and see what's going on. Hopefully, it's not half as hokey as it was back, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. All right, the God of Thunder, give us your thoughts, brother.
Yeah, I just think this is all part of a long con. WWE didn't want to pay Dolph Ziggler whatever the fuck he was asking for, so they let him go out, get a lesser contract, because obviously TNA can't pay him nearly as much, I'm sure, as he was paying. He was getting paid in WWE, and now they're just going to acquire TNA. This is the beginning of the end of TNA wrestling. They're gonna start getting their claws in. I mean, let's face it. I mean, as cool as an NXT TNA crossover show would be, it's not exactly putting TNA over. Like, hey, TNA, come fucking wrestle our developmental brand. Like, it's not exactly apples to apples. I would hope that the sort of comparison that TNA would be hoping for, but that would be kind of cool. I can even see. I saw today somewhere on X that apparently while Braun Breaker is up on the main roster, he still has some work to do in NXT, according to Shawn Michaels. So maybe they do this crossover show and you get Braun versus Moose like at the top of the card there. That way you can even put the champion over for TNA without it like really costing the NXT brand much, because Braun's on his way up and out anyway.
Yeah, that's something I want to talk about real quick before we get up out of here. We still got to talk about Vince McMahon and all that nastiness. All right, what's up, Colin Wysong? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't personally like Jordan Grace. I don't talk very positively about her, but she looked like a star when she came out. It was an awesome surprise. I don't think anybody really saw it coming. I think they might have rumored it that she was going to be out there, but I like this. Make this a thing. Every year, bring the women's champion from TNA, have them come out and represent the Rumble. That would be pretty dope. And then maybe you just start adding champions from other places if you can get them. And then I did want to share this with you guys. A quick Google search would show you that New Zealand is not part of Asia. New Zealand is neither in Europe nor in Asia.
Oceania.
It is considered its own continent. So therefore, your logic that she should be a part of Damage Control is thus null and void now, guys. I'm so sorry.
I'm speechless.
I'm blown away.
Right, I have nothing to say after that. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. That
Moving
said,
on.
I think Jordan Grace is who R-Truth was talking about when he went backstage after this. So Truth comes in, costs Valhalla the spot, goes back, and he's yelling at, I don't know, Adam Pearce or whoever the fuck it was, and he's just like, "You mean to tell me all them people out there was women?" And it was,
that was funny.
Can we talk about R-Truth? I mean, this guy, he carried the pre-show. I mean, they had R-Truth all over the pre-show. He comes in, makes a very memorable spot for the Women's Royal Rumble in what was already a packed Women's Royal Rumble. Then comes in and thinks that the Royal Rumble is a tag match. Gets a hot tag, which I got to ask the vet if that was like an actual hot tag. Striz, was that like a hot tag? Would that count under hot tag rules?
What tag are you talking about?
when he took
The
the
tag
tag
in Rumble, when he was reaching for the tag.
Oh, yes, it'd be a very hot tag.
It's very, very hot tag. And I love Truth. He is a national treasure. He needs to be protected. Maybe it's Truth versus Rollins that we get night one, and then Damian Priest cashes in, and because we saw how he just took R-Truth out as soon as he got in there. Merch money be damned. He doesn't care anymore. R-Truth is the greatest thing in WWE right now, hands down.
I really like the Judgment Day too. You know, people are like the Judgment Day are losing steam, and I can kind of understand that to a certain degree, but they're still really relevant. I think they've overachieved, to be honest. I never thought much of this faction. You know, what are they doing? What's this about? But you know, they've kind of done their thing for some time now. So props to them. Okay, now let's get into it. We've been avoiding it for so long. We're gonna give you guys, like we used to do back in the day, 5-second warning. Okay, just like we used to talk about Monday Night Raw. Bells used to give you 5 seconds. Run, you fools, and get going. We're about to talk about Vince McMahon. All right, Bells, let them know. Give them the 5-second countdown.
We're about to talk about Vince McMahon and his rapey things in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're talking about Vince McMahon. Listen, the guy's a piece of crap. We know it. You know it, and the American people know it. But damn it, man. Jesus, what is going on? So we all know at this point, right, what was in the documents, in the text, right? We like Brock Lesnar wants to get peed on, all this other stuff, right? And John Laurinaitis is just one of the, these are horrible people, right? If any of this is true, if even a portion of it is true, they are horrible, horrible people. Who else knows about this, right? Like this is, I mean, you can make the argument that Stephanie McMahon knew about this. You can really make the argument, right? And that's why she took off. Shane McMahon knew about this. He did. Did Triple H know? Like, I mean, at this point, who else knew about this? It's not. They were giving out. I'm gonna get you right now, Striz. They were giving out photos according. Oh, you knew about it. You were saying. That's why he's raising his hand. I got it. Went right over my head, just like that continent that Colin mentioned earlier. That I have no idea what he's talking about. Right over my head. It's not back there. It's not right there. It's not there. I don't know what that is. Okay. So yeah. Who else? Who else is aware of what went on? He was passing around pictures of this young lady, and showing to everyone. This more people know about this, right? And people covered it up. And that's probably going to come out later is all I'm saying. I don't think this is over by a long shot. The God of Thunder, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was pretty gross, everything I heard. Of course, Brock wants to be peed on, though. Like, he's just so gargantuan. Like, he needs to be belittled, I'd imagine, right? Like, every from once in a while, that he's just, I don't know. But why wouldn't he want to get peed on, right? Like, he's Brock Lesnar. What else is he going to do for kicks? He's literally just chasing deer in his backyard. That's how he hunts. He doesn't bring a gun. He doesn't bring a bow and arrow. He just gets down in the 3-point stance, takes off, and fucking annihilates one of these things. That's how he's filling his time now and forever, apparently, until his body can no longer do it, sadly. But this isn't gonna end well. He might get sucked into all this, right? Like sex trafficking's like not a joke. Like that's
right.
Not a big deal. This is like a RICO sort of situation. Like they can nab just about anybody in and around the chain related to this. I do wonder, now in retrospect, why there has kind of been this slow exfiltration of McMahon's from the system, right? Like, obviously Shane came back and then disappeared. Stephanie disappears. Vince is now officially, hopefully kind of gone. And I guess, according to Ronda Rousey and others, until Bruce Pritchard's gone, that's not necessarily true either. So, you've got that whole thing going on. You've got Triple H. What did he know? I don't know. I mean, like, Triple H to me, it's like he's like the one person that might have some plausible deniability, because like, why would Vince let H know all of this was going on? I don't know. Like, based on some of the shit that I read, though, like it's hard for me to imagine that Vince was thinking rationally about any of this. Like the fact that he's showing random texts, like random guys who like work in the truck, pictures of this girl and doing all this sort of stuff. If in fact that is what he was doing. That's astronomically fucking arrogant to imagine that it's staggering to imagine that this was going on for as long as it's, was going on without anybody knowing about it, given all of that information. So it really was really hard to believe, but at the same time, not. The weirdest things about this to me are the fact that Vince was into like a woman of color and that he could text quite so well. Those were particularly odd. Everything else was just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I could see it. I don't wanna.
That was his executive assistant.
Yeah, it's weird. There had to be others, right? Like, there's no way this was just the only woman.
Yeah, no, it is just the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you start to think.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff surrounding Ashley Massaro.
When she gets her settlement, and all the other girls find out what that girl made, it's gonna bust open the doors. So,
Striz, what are your thoughts?
Well, this is, I think, a very perfect example of the long game. Never go on TV, you or your family members, and do a 20-minute promo saying how my dad beat the federal government in court and blah, blah, blah. You know how many years they did that? Well, guess what? They put that in their back pocket and they let it simmer for a good 30 years. and now they're coming back because they're gonna get that pound of flesh and then some. You're gonna wish they took it out of you 33 years ago, wink and a nod, back during the steroid trial. But now here we are, all these years later. You think you're gonna walk away with 9.3 billion? Highly unlikely. So I just. It's just kind of funny how it all comes out after the big sale. This could have come out at any time after it had originally happened. But, here we are, not, like I said, $9.3 billion later, and there's somebody knocking on Winnie the Pooh's door trying to get some honey out of the pot, if you will.
Damn.
So, it is what it is. I don't think anybody ever is shocked that Vince was a piece of shit kind of person. And the people that he associated with were just as shitty as he was. So he can't be as terrible a person he wants to be without having other people around him that are going to, be equally as shitty, or if not, be as encouragingly shitty. So when was the last time anybody ever heard a nice word about Johnny Laurinaitis? Anybody?
Bro.
I know guys who worked under that guy, and he was the biggest piece of shit. And the funny thing is he's had jobs where he's been in power forever now.
Right.
He was an absolute shit worker. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him work. He was terrible. He was terrible in Japan. He was terrible in WCW. But somehow, weaseled his way into getting an office job. And when WWE bought WCW, he came over, I think at that time, as part of the deal. And, let the melee ensue, I guess. But in my opinion, as far as Johnny Ace goes, it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Yeah, seriously.
So, I wonder if that's going to end up ruining his marriage with the Bella's mom. I'm sure
I'd run for the hills.
Awkward. What's that?
Yeah. I'd run for the hills. Why would you stick around after something like that?
Yeah, here's the thing. Shit rolls downhill, boys, and so he's married to the Bella's mom, and obviously now Daniel Bryan is kind of involved in that because, it's all family, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure he doesn't want that kind of stuff around his kid and stuff. He seems like a real upstanding guy and everything. So it's a really weird situation. Just all the idiotic crap. And here's the thing is, he could have probably just hired a prostitute on the street to do all the things he wanted to do. Why would you do that with an employee? Why? If you have all this money and you could send somebody out, go find me someone that fits this description. I don't understand.
I was saying the
it was a
exact
power
same
trip
thing. Right. I was saying
he
the
wants to
exact
pull the
same thing.
strings on people like he does with every single person's life and be, the manipulator, because he's a megalomaniac times 10.
I was saying the exact same thing the other day when I had a conversation. I'm like, come on, you're freaking Vince McMahon. You got 9 point whatever billion. Why do you have to do this? Just go get yourself a high price hooker if you want to do that. Right. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? And it would have been under wraps, but no, these people are sick. They're degenerates, and that's what Vince McMahon is. Ben Hameen is in the chat. The Ayatollah, hip hop Hameen, Hameen. Listen, I know why he's here. He wants to get into Cody Nation. Listen, there's a long line. There's a long line to get into Cody Nation. We're gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna go to Hooper. Listen, let's see what we can do to
tells
expedite.
Me that's not why he's here.
We're gonna have to. We'll see what we can do to expedite the process for Ben Hameen. He is the Ayatollah. He owns Hameen Media and the whole deal. So let's see what we can do for the man. Just saying. All you had to do was hit me up, Ben. You didn't have to show up in the chat. All you had to do was, hey, listen, I want to be a part of Cody Nation. I totally understand. That's the way things go. Ben Hameen, the Ayatollah. It's the 1111 boys.
Send them a link. Send them a link, Billy Ray.
Send them a link. Yeah, you got
get on the show.
Colin would do that. I was about to rap, but we'll wait for him. We'll wait for the guy. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm glad that Vince McMahon is gone, right? And I said something, and I'm rarely wrong, but I was dead wrong about this. I said that when Vince McMahon left, it would be the end of the WWE, and damn, was I wrong, for one. But two, it has the opportunity to be even better. Like
right.
It's
bigger
crazy.
and better.
Tell me, Shmiz, what's up?
Well, just the amount of knowledge that's coming with the Ariel Helwani group TKO is just like, oh, who is he coming on? Oh, I thought that the thing was switching around, but it's just gonna be even bigger than it was. There's gonna be lots of crossover now. Let's see what happens with the UFL, the conjunction of XFL and USFL. I'm sure there's gonna be like some cross promotion there, with The Rock owning a portion of that. So it just seems like everything is about to get a lot bigger than you think. How could it ever be bigger? But, I mean, look at the ratings. Of course, it could have more eyeballs on it, but the company itself, it just has much more opportunity now without Vince really standing in its way, with people who are actually going to try to drive money out of this product.
We lost Vince.
Oh, there he is, the Ayatollah himself.
The Ayatollah himself.
Back from the islands.
Man, what's good? Hold on, I got you guys open.
Hip hop, I mean, yeah, Allah.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Tell him what's up, sir.
His debut on WLR after 6 years.
This 11:11 at night is bullshit. Whatever you guys got going on, fuck that. An honor to be here with the people's champions, man. I did give you a holler and you kayfabe me. I couldn't get a hold of you when I was in Jamaica. I can only do messaging there, and I know you're not a big fan of that.
Thank you. No, that was fine, man. I wanted you to come on. I was on AM Wake Up, and they wanted to talk about Vince McMahon and all this stuff. I was like, Ben would be perfect for it. And you were in Jamaica. I hit up Colin. Colin didn't have the internet. I hit up. I don't know who else I hit up. Nobody goes. Striz. I asked Striz to go and
everybody
didn't do anything. Right. Yeah. So I was like, let me ask Striz, see if he didn't even consider it. And he's like, yeah, I would have, but I'm working. So I'll take that one. You know what I mean? What's going on? How you doing? You're looking good. You're looking tan. You're
tan as fuck.
Right? Yeah, I needed that vitamin D injection. So it was a last minute getaway because things went pretty well for us last week at Ravens Joint, kind of bringing home the project, hopefully in the next 48 hours to get to the starting line. So this is going to be one of our last opportunities to break out of the winter that is Hoth in upstate New York, So JD Love, he hopped on the Jericho cruise, and I'm sure Jericho was on the front of that boat like it was Titanic with his hair blown into the wind, saying, "Thank God the heat has passed." No, like I don't got to worry about shit now. This is gonna reach Cosby levels. I mean, you're talking $3 million on one chick. There's $16 million extra, and people are like, "Why didn't they hire a porn star?" Probably because he did all that. Yeah. He probably blew through that, and it didn't have enough direct King being able to lord over people and do whatever torture porn you can imagine inside of these. I don't know what goes on in these billionaires, or they think they're real royalty and they get off on it. I talked to John McAfee. He has the same fetish, except for it's reverse. He likes getting shit on instead of shitting on other chicks. Same with 3.3 miles from here at Mohawk Valley Correctional Facility, right from where I'm sitting right now, is Harvey Weinstein in a hospital bed like Jabba the Hutt. Same fetish. Right? You come in my shower and let me crap and piss on you, and I'll put you in Kill Bill. Okay. Jesus. Like there's something that is snapped in these guys' minds, and we talked about it today on Master Shoot, that the way he'll get out of it is to claim dementia, same way Snuka did. And all you need to do is go back and line up the patterns of behavior, even from the Playboy interview where he half stooged off that he may have been raped, sexually assaulted by his stepmother at a young age. His delusions of being an American hero who went to a military academy. Whoops, here we go. So this thing. Then from everything from just the ones we know, Rita Chatterton to Flights from Hell to every, Ring Boy scandal that's been covered up. It goes on from you look at the Kiss My Ass Club and all that stuff now, the butterfly kisses with Stephanie, all the people who've known about this for multiple decades, 3 decades covering this up, they're all guilty by association and now may be accomplices to human trafficking. Why does his own son and daughter leave the company? And they know it. and she's, from stories I've heard, is just as twisted sexually and probably made her that way. So where everyone's like, she was there, she could have left. Yeah, dude, I'm not saying this girl doesn't have her own skewed moral compass, but you're talking about the kings of working the planet, bro. These guys work the Saudis. Like, you think they don't get off on on having their own concubines to treat like filth? Because really that's what they want. And Ace is nothing more than a pimp in all of this, really. And when it comes down to and stuff with the Brock stuff, that's on brand for him from stories I heard just in the last year of him trying to pull some shit on talent, bro. So on extra talent. So like none of this is this 1980s. The boys are in town and we're getting the Rizats when it all comes down to a hazing. I'm not saying that everybody's guilty in this, right? Whether she's in the insta-ho culture or get money and sue and at any cost. But this guy, I think, is regressing. And right now, with a fucking cabinet full of Viagras or Cialis, he's at about a 15-year-old level being able to control his own crotch, right? By the time this all plays out, he'll have the mentality, much like how Junior Soprano's character, he never had the makings of a varsity athlete. It's all the way till he gets to the point where he's looking out the window, watching the birds chirping. This is the type of stuff we're seeing from this guy in the decline of his later years, where now he doesn't run creative. Now he doesn't. So what's he going to fill his time with? This overblown testosterone psychopathy, bro. And it's something in this billionaires club of broken toys that makes him do it, bro. From Bill Cosby to Vince McMahon to all of them, man. It's very strange. I do think McAfee's still alive, so.
Well, Ben, let's not forget that the WEF, during the WEF conferences, they literally, the brothels over there posted messages that they were full because of the WEF. So, I mean, it's in their billionaire culture to be some super fucking deviants.
Explain what the WEF is for those who don't know.
The World Economic Forum, they have meetings over there in Europe where all the big wigs, like Klaus Schwab, any of these multi-billionaires, Vladimir Putin's there, all the world leaders are there. And in that little area, I think it's in Switzerland, not exactly sure where they do it, but there were reports that these escort services had basically posted that they were sold out for that whole week that the WEF was going to be there.
And you wonder how many of those are, we say Jeffrey Epstein, how many Jeffrey Epsteins are there that work for the Mossad? You think he was the only one? How about this? Everyone in UFC was like, Ari Emanuel would never stand for that. Ari Emanuel's daughter's working for WWE, right? So how and he's the Rock's agent and all these megastars, Al Pacino. You think these guys haven't been kayfabing from Hollywood for 30 years? Like Ari doesn't know. They're like, he'll stand up. Oh, did he stand up and get rid of Dana White when he smacked his wife around in public? No. Okay, so now who's really in on it? Is Ari? Here's your conspiracy horseman, Billy Ray Valentine. Is Ari Mossad agent too, and his daughter is a plant inside the company so they can get dirt from the inside? And is Nick Khan, The Rock, and Ari pushing out the entire McMahon family in a hostile takeover, and they may be the one fueling this from behind the scenes with nobody really knowing it?
Who's Ari's brother?
Rahm
Emanuel.
Yeah. And do you want to get close to Trump and tear down birds of a feather flock together, right? Like this is a bigger move. Now, why did Vince take out $750 million in liquidity? Why would TKO guys on the kayfabe drive their own stock price down after the bringing in, hey, Rock's here, and then 2 days later this shit drops, bro? They'll buy in stock, pump it up through WrestleMania season and UFC 300, and everybody cashes out an extra $250 million that way, bro. So there's so much that goes beyond just the possibility and realm. And where's Linda in all this? They've been married but separated for 20 years now, bro. What does he have on her? What does she know? Is she being held hostage by to some degree?
Everything.
Or is she as depraved as he is and has her own concubine list of fucking young studs who've been put into her, get me almost.
Ask Paul Roma.
I want the Nigerian giant. Give me that guy.
Right.
Let's do that right now. No, I mean, how do you think she got into Trump's cabinet, bro? Like, I mean, come on. That's why that's what she knows all the skeletons in the closet for all of these people, in my opinion, man. Listen, I don't want to have anything to do with it. If this is what it takes to be a billionaire, guess what? I'm good. I'll never be a billionaire. Fine. I'll probably never be a billionaire anyway, but I don't have the capacity to do this crap. And I've never wanted to get shat on or shit on someone. I don't understand what is wrong with people. Yeah. I have no idea what is wrong with people.
But look at who's got to go. You really got to go if this is a hostile takeover. So who's already gone? Carano and Ace are gone. Mm-hmm. I would say Hayes has got to go. Deuce has got to go. Terry Taylor's probably got to go. I'd say Road Dogg's just outside the realm, and he may be given the reins in a big way. Triple H has got to go. Dunn's out. HBK's got to go. Because how can his born again Christian morality have? I mean, we just can't be around these people, right? Like, I'm born again. Yeah, okay. Like that just levels out the inner circle. And now you're talking about how many big stooges and running shit as it really goes. And there's agents there that are getting the boys and girls plenty of B12 and climate change and all that kind of shit. That's a whole nother scandal that could drop how gassed up people are right now, So definitely I would want to clean house, and that's going to leave a huge void and vacuum. And I would say Jeff Jarrett may tenure his resignation at AEW soon. Consultants may be making moves. There's a lot of future possibilities right here. I don't see him climbing back out to do another hostile takeover like he did last time and being able to get through this, bro. I think this is the dominoes are falling. And right now, when you start saying you're an accessory to rape and a rapist with Vince and threesomes, as well as torture porn and then passing around over state lines, possibly if she went to pay-per-views, and there's a whole text trail to prove it, you're going to see some A2 Brute turn around and Caesar's own men are the ones stabbing him up, because they're not going to go down and do 5 to 7 years for him.
A lot of people also forget in June, right around the time of the sale, the FBI raided Vince McMahon's offices. Yeah. They said it was over SEC violations. Could it really have been over SEC violations, or were there because of these sex trafficking allegations?
And who's got the stroke to pull that and push that? And why would they want to? Not just who's got the stroke, but what's the why? You know what I'm saying? Of making that move out of nowhere. And it got swept under the carpet real quick to try and make a deal. And then he's doing all those weird things with Undertaker on the road. We're home in Riyadh. We're home. You're like, what the fuck are you even talking about, dude? This reeks of a big CIA op, bro. And once they got over with the Saudis, Ali Mansour, best of luck in your future endeavors, pal. Like, dude, like, line it all up in the behavior patterns and the decline of this guy's morality, and the creative genius title goes right out the fucking window, doesn't it? And
you wonder why they're tearing up scripts at 3:00. Like, motherfucker, you've been busy shitting on people all day.
All day long,
put a couple hours in the office.
Yeah.
All right.
Striz, you're looking good. You got good color. Everyone's facial hairs exceptional.
Good color, brother.
But yeah, man, that fucking hat. Look at that.
Me, you look caramel.
Yeah, I was fucking Whitey Ford Sings of Blues until I got out of here, man. I had to get in the Caribbean for a minute, so I'm recharged.
It's a prerequisite if you're going to come on the sexiest podcast in professional wrestling punditry. You have to be caramel at least. So good that you did that over in Jamaica. Otherwise, you wouldn't be let in. It's the 1111 boys right here on Hammy Media HMG. What is going on? Hey, Striz, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me on the X at Strangler Steve _ and that's about it. I got nothing to promote other than next week's show.
What's up, Colin Weinstein? Tell the people what's up, and thank you for your help today, buddy. What's up?
Oh, no problem. So, as well as being a former billionaire and an excellent stock trader, I now am selling art. This is a piece from my friend Angela Champion. I want to share with you her link. Go and check out some of her beautiful art. It is amazing. I've known this chick for forever. She has prints. You can buy original artwork. She does acrylic. She does oil. Prices range anywhere from $50 to $500. Some really, really great stuff. Definitely go check out Angela Champion Art at artpal.com.
That's very cool, man. You want to plug any of your stuff, bro?
Just at Colin Whitesong on Twitter. That's it.
There he goes. There's the man. The
And the A
Ayatollah.
Show. Don't forget the A Show. I'm
The
sorry.
A Show with
Yeah,
April
A
Honey.
Show doing great work on the A Show, man. Great guests, everything. Yeah.
The Ayatollah Ben Hameen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for gracing us with your presence, sir. Always good to see you and listen to what you have to say. Tell the people what's up.
It's nice to get to sit at the cool kids table once in a while with you guys, man. So I was glad for the last minute catch, and thanks for the link to come on over and talk that shit. We had a great time today on Raw and SmackDown Review, as well as Master Shoot Theater, which I know people were chomping at the bit to get that out. So I hope we didn't disappoint, but we covered a lot of it, Stevie and Vince and myself. So it was a big day to catch up on all kinds of work, man. But it's still at Ravens Joint. You guys, we need those numbers up. Give it a follow on all social media platforms, and we're going to have some big announcements coming soon about our grand opening. One of my other clients, actually, if you're in the New York area, upstate New York, you want to come check it out, the Cooperstown Connection Gentleman's Corner Barbershop are bringing in Mick Foley and as well as Wade Boggs for a signing. So I've got info in the Hami Media discussion group for that. And WrestleCuse is this weekend. So some of our good brothers up here doing some stuff there. So I'm just busting ass, man, working hard. And there would be no HMG without the WLR, man. All you guys and all your effort throughout the years and being the backbone of the community and the shout outs and all that shit. I can't say how much I appreciate you all and thank you for being top tier producers and personalities, man. The best will always find each other. And this is proof positive right here.
Well, we appreciate you, sir. And save the last, but certainly not least, what's going on? The God of Thunder, ladies and gentlemen, gracing us with his presence yet another week. To what do we owe the honor, sir? The sexiest man in professional wrestling punditry. Tell him what's up, Bells.
Well, yeah, you know I can't just plug my shit. I got shit to talk. But first and foremost, always good to see the Ayatollah, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you, buddy.
Also, I opened the show by stating something for the record. I'd like to close the show by stating something for the record. I've been on this anti-Vince shit for quite a while. You can go back on podcast before Hami Media Group was really even a thing, where the Andrew Bello was talking about how I'm looking forward to a day where this motherfucker's not alive anymore. Shouts to Fame Black, who hit me up over the weekend. We were talking about how, I guess probably in the context of like a Fabulous Moolah type situation with what was going on there. I was like, what do you think Vince has been doing for the last 20 years? And then everyone went, oh, and I'm like, all your favorites knew. All of them knew. They all knew. They all currently know, and they've all are about to be exposed. I guess Brock was unfortunately the first domino to fall, and quite a fucking domino it was. So we'll see how this all pans out. It's not looking too good there. That said, you could find me and all my escapades on X at the Andrew Bello. That's TH to the E, AN to the D, REWBELLO. And check me out on YouTube. I'm over there as well. Same name, doing rap remixes because why not? Clearly,
I love it. I love that you're doing your art, man. And every time you put something out, you can just tell it's a next level effort, bro. That's fucking so good.
Appreciate it.
Fantastic.
Hat's got to go though. Is that me and Moose squaring off up there? What the fuck?
It is.
Is it? I don't even know if I have that picture.
Dope. My name is Billy Ray Valentine, Billy the Kid, Mecca G, Cody Rhodes. You know the deal. Cody Nation, ladies and gents, we're taking applications. So line it up, and we may or may not let you in. It's up to Hooper. You guys don't get to me. You guys got to talk to Hooper. Hooper's going to handle the whole deal. Hey, theinfinitefringe.podbeam.com, The Infinite Fringe on Apple Podcast, America Unplugged, on AmericaUnplugged.com and on Rockfin, 12 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday, freeworld.fm. You know the deal. Go over there and check it out. Yo, Bells.
What's that, man?
I'll catch your punk ass down the road. You hear me? On the road to WrestleMania,
like
where
Cody
Cody Rhodes is
Rumble.
main eventing. That's where I'll catch you. We'll watch it together, you and I, while Cody Rhodes sits on top of the mountain and beats the fake head of the table. All right, and holds the WWE title. Hey, Striz, tell him what's up before we get up out of here.
Yo, I like big titties.
That's right.
Honk.
Take us out, Colin.